starting with the screwdriver. I got my parts from China, I guess. So I got a new ignition, and I got a new gas cap, and I got some fuel line. So we're gonna go ahead and get this gas tank set up, try and get this bike really running good. And I also got my fuel filters somewhere. They should be coming soon anyhow. That's all. Another thing I've done here is I pulled the Speedo off while I'm waiting for parts and everything. Got the speedometer off. Looks like the bracket has cracked on this. So I'm gonna pull this thing apart and clean it. Check the bulbs so you can see where it's broken right here. So I'm gonna try and epoxy that or JB weld that just so it holds together. Probably a futile effort on my part, but figure save a few bucks, just trying to do it on the cheap for now. But we'll get this thing cleaned up and throw it back on, see if it works. If not, probably put a digital Speedo on it or something. But right now, that's what we're gonna do. This is what I got off of eBay. It was super cheap too. It was like 20 bucks. So we're gonna see if this plugs in and works right. And I'll keep you posted. But that's the next step. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this old one, put this new one on, and see how she works. Do a bit of a wiring snafu here. Everything looks the same, but this end is different. And there's 4 wires going into this, which shouldn't be a problem because they're all, well, they're not all the same color, but I'm gonna figure these wires out, and if I figure these wires out, then I can just splice them into this. All right, so what I was able to do is put the Chinese tumbler on the Japanese base. And there's the broken tumbler, and this is the new base. So I don't have to mess with these plugs. Hopefully this will all work. All the mechanism inside looked exactly the same, so hopefully this will fix my keyless problem. Grips and a filter for that bike. Now I'll take you over here, and I got it running. It's running like crap, kinda. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all put back together. I've got this epoxied for now. It's Mickey Mouse, but I don't really want to spend a whole bunch of money on this bike until I know everything works good. So I'm gonna get it all working, and then I can come back and maybe replace some parts on it. But right now, that's where we're at. We're gonna go ahead and get this all assembled. Try and get this thing running, at least, so we can take it for a spin. Also notice, as it's running, this Kickstarter likes to flop out, so I think there's probably a broken spring here that needs to be replaced, or a missing spring. So we're gonna take a look at that too and find out if we can replace that. All right, since I got this T-dub and I don't know who changed the oil last or when it was changed, it also looks like it's a little overfilled in the sight glass here. So I'm gonna go ahead and drain this oil. I got a little filter for it, and we're gonna go ahead and get this started. I got this thing on my trusty Harbor Freight lift. We're gonna get going on this, and then we're gonna start reassembling this thing and try and get it up the street and see how it runs. You know, it's starting to idle a little better now that I've got it started a couple times, so I'm hoping maybe that it's not going to be an issue. Maybe that carburetor will work. We'll see. I'd like to run it and just kind of give it a run, get it warmed up, and see maybe if it's just the nature of the beast. I'm not sure. I've never had one of these things, but we're going to get it running one way or another. That's all for now. If you're sitting on the bike, I'm on the shifter side of the bike, or the left-hand side of the bike. This here is a 19mm socket or wrench, whatever you want to get on that, and we want to break that loose first. Ooh, and that thing is tight, so we're going to break that loose. I'm going to put the camera down to do that, and we're going to get to that, get that oil drained out of there. So we're going to let that oil drain. Just so you know what's going on, there's an oil screen right here, and then there's a spring that goes into the engine that way, and then the cap goes on it. So it kind of lines up like that. That's how it does, just in case you're wondering. I'm not really trying to do a how-to oil change video, but turn it into that. So that's how that looks as it goes in. So anyhow, we're gonna get this oil changed. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great either. So we're changing it out. All right, you're gonna wanna pull this screen out to just kind of inspect it and see if there's any debris in it. It doesn't look like I have any metal shavings or anything in that screen. So I'm gonna hose it off with brake cleaner, put that all, this side all back together. And we'll slide the pan over, go over to the other side and pull that filter. That's where the little filter comes into play. So I'm gonna take you over to the right side of the bike. Why they did this, I don't know, but they got two Phillips head screws, which are usually a bear to get out, and then just an Allen head on this. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off that accesses the filter. So we're gonna do that next. Got those 2 screws removed, horrible screws, and this Allen is loose, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop this loose. And you get 3 different size screws. It's not pretty easy not to get it mixed up, so I'm not even gonna worry about telling you how to do that. And as you take this off, just be real careful. You got an O-ring on this and some other things you don't want to screw up on. So and there's the little filter right there. We're gonna get the new one out and change her out. All right, so you want to make sure this O-ring right down here on the cover is good. And you also got a small O-ring right here too that you want to make sure is good and stays in there. And they both look good, so we're gonna go ahead and replace this new filter, and we'll go from there. All right, we got that cover back on, and new filter in. I think this takes just a little over a quart of oil. And I may be wrong on that, but we're gonna go ahead and get that taken care of. Next thing we're gonna do is start getting this thing back together. So that's next on the agenda. All right, we got that oil in now, so I don't know if you can see on that sight window right there. You can see it's right at the top of the top level. But I haven't started it yet, and it has ran through the filter, so I'll start it, run it through the filter, make sure it's at the right level after it all settles. But we're close. It's a little dark, but the T-dub's coming along. We're getting it going. I've got the seat off right now. I got a new front tire. I opted for the Schenko 244. It looks like a pretty beefy tire. It's odd having such a big tire on the front of a dirt bike, or a dual sport, but that's what we're doing. That's what we're working with. Today we're gonna go over to Donnie Boy's house, and we're gonna put the new seat cover on this thing. So I got some eBay seat cover, and I pulled all this off. And my buddy Don's got a staple gun, an upholstery staple gun, so we're gonna go ahead and throw that seat cover on. So I'll take you over there right now. All right, while we're driving over to Donnie Boy's, I just want to do a little rant. I originally bought that TW for like 150 bucks, which was a screaming deal, I thought, until I realized, you know, California, they do some real crappy stuff. They attach back fees and pass it on to the next buyer. Well, the bike hasn't been registered for 20 years, and so anyhow, long story short, there's about $800 in back fees on it. So I'm wondering if it's even worth messing with. Unfortunately, I already bought new tires for it, got a new seat cover for it. So I might stop at that and try and sell it to somebody that wants it just for a pit bike or something. I don't know, but we're gonna see what's going on here. I was gonna keep the bike, but I don't know if it's worth putting $800 more into a 1989 TW. You guys let me know, what do you think? So far I've probably got about, I don't know, 400 bucks in it. So it would probably be 800 to 900 bucks by the time I was all said and done with getting it registered. So, you know, a non-registered bike doesn't do me a lot of good. I wanted it for a dual sport, so we'll see. Keep me posted. Let me know in the comments below. All right, we're here at Donnie Boy's, Mr. Motorcycle Madman. This guy has bikes galore, and he's ready to handle business, right? We taking care of it? We taking care of it, boss man? Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
So we're gonna get this seat cover put on, get it all squared away. Got the upholstery stapler, trusty quarter cable, upholstery staples. I'm gonna get this thing all buttoned up here real quick. Make this bike look brand new, or at least brand old. Already looking better. Already looking 100%. Looks like you've done this before.
Not Mike.
All these bikes. Too many bikes. Too many bikes, not enough riders. Correct? Right, Don?
Pardon me?
Your garage is starting to look like mine.
Ridiculous. I don't like it.
We need a shop. That's what we need.
I do.
Yeah. I'll help you build one. We'll have to come over and handle it. Different state though, right? Not Ocala terrorism capital of the world. That's what a fresh seat looks like after Don attacks it. Looks pretty good. Came out good. Before? After. Love it.
Do it at the Pearson garage.
There we go, baby. Looking good. There, I got that wrap on there. Kind of white trash looking, but it'll keep me from burning my leg. And I noticed that heat shield, or the back fender had started melting. Of course, it's in the place where I can't really get the wrap around very well. So I'm just gonna wrap it like this and we'll see if it helps. It doesn't look great, but I don't care. Bike's gonna be used, hopefully. Yeah, it depends if I'm gonna keep it or not though. That's the big question. All right, next step in the process is TW needs some new shoes. We got the new tire over there, pardon my mess in the garage. We've been on some trips and we've been busy, and I got the new rear tire here. So we're gonna pull these off right now, and we're gonna get this over to my buddy Don's house, and we're gonna get some tires on this thing, some new shoes. Tires off this thing. Now we're gonna take them over to Donnie Boy's house and get these tires mounted. Then we'll move on to the next step. We're at my buddy Don's house. We're gonna get this taken care of, aren't we, baby?
We might.
He loves being on YouTube too, so. But anyhow, we got this all set up and we're gonna try and get these tires on. We're checking out all his bikes.
Look at here.
Yeah, we got the mascot. She's in charge of everything. Look at that, we got a nice bike hitting here, kind of hiding out. This guy's crazy bike action, so we'll get this going and keep you posted.
How long has that tire been on there?
There we go. It's been on there. That's a OEM tire there. So yeah, look at that crack. I say it's due for a tire. All right, we got this one off. We're gonna go ahead and throw on the new tire. We're heating it up a little bit. Donnie Boy's gonna slime it up. We'll get this thing in. Oh, we got one down, one to go. We're running that Golden Boy trail tire SR 244 is what we're gonna throw on this thing. So see how that works. All right, now that we got the tires done, we're gonna wheels back on. I've got the chain in the ultrasonic cleaner since it's a non-O-ring chain. Figured I'd clean that chain up. I'm gonna clean the brakes up and the brakes look good. You know, they're drum brakes, but I'm gonna clean them up and get them all put back together. And we'll get this bike together and start working some of the electronics. The turn signals aren't working. I think it may be the relay. Not really sure, but we'll keep going on. I got some brake cleaner. This thing's all greasy, so I don't know what's leaking or causing it to be greasy. I gotta look at it. Looks like somebody put a bunch of grease on the axle, which probably isn't a good thing because it's got all over the brakes and they're kind of glazed. So I'm gonna clean the brakes up, kind of rough up the drum on this, clean that all up, and we'll go from there and put this back together. All right, sorry about the noise. I'll usually take a little piece of emery cloth and clean up these drums a little bit just to rough them up and get the glaze off of them. You don't want to really do too much, but you do want to knock off some of that glaze. So that's what I'm doing now. Get that done, and then we'll go to the next step, get this bike back. Front fender back on. I had to put some different bolts on this. The metric, in their metric bolts and everything, but the ones that were on it were all mix match. Somebody had changed them out, so I'm kind of anal about that. But I didn't order new ones from Yamaha. I just had some metric bolts that all matched, so I swapped that out. You guys can do what you want, but that's kind of how I'm doing it. So now we're going to throw that front tire on. Got that new front sexy tire on. Torqued this to 65 foot-pounds. Backed it off a little to get the cotter key in. Now I'm just going to finish the ultrasonic cleaner with the chain, clean it up, re-oil it, throw it back on, and we'll get that back tire on. All right, don't mind the mess, but this thing's starting to take shape now. I got the new tires, new tubes on the bike. Now I got to work on the electrical a little bit, make sure those turn signals start working. We'll get that
squared away. We may put some LEDs on it. I don't know yet. That's all for now. It's too dang hot here in Southern California right now.